Joy 99.7 FM.
Well, I guess this is it. Playtime is over. Tradition is tradition. Culture is culture. Until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know, I'll say that again. Well, folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. My name is Nana Ansakwa IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Edumasa in Akwamu. The only republic ruled by a chief. Folks, welcome to the ritual performed on Mondays for patriots among us. A ritual for the bold and the brave. A ritual for those who can confront the truth. And today, we will have to confront the truth. Folks, our topic today is selfish neglects and painful intervention. And my producer says, what do you mean by that, Nana? Abeku says, what do you mean by that? Selfish neglects and painful interventions. Believe you me, you all have your stories, and I'm going to try and keep my pitch as short as possible so that you can also get a chance to rant, because that's literally what we're going to do today, rant. Folks, what do I mean by selfish neglect and painful interventions? For my frustration today, I am talking about hazards on our roads, illegal dwellings that cost us a lot of time, stress, health, and sometimes even life. Yet these things are left to fester for ages and develop and become a culture and a tradition on their own. And yet the intervention needed to fix it cost next to nothing. The interventions needed to fix it. Sometimes, if you calculate it to the loss that has cost life and nation and time and everything. Well, my anger today, folks, more is on the local councils. Maybe we'll add a bit of the, roads and highways to it, but mainly the local councils. See, I know they are not fully funded. In fact, no one is fully funded, even if you're in America or UK, wherever you are. Sometimes, your budget runs short, but our local councils are taking us for granted. Folks, 8 years ago, between Pong and Akrade, if you're traveling, well, either way, wherever you're traveling, but between Pong and Akrade, folks, they laid some pipe works across the road. It was a beautifully tarred road, and there was some pipe works to be laid, so they dug up the road and put the pipe in there, and, it was just about 1 meter of length of road that was dug up. 8 years today, as I'm talking to you now, the gap has widened about probably 10 meters. And as I speak to you, they haven't been able to put the bitumen or the tar back on the road. And so it's widening. Now what happens is that when it rains, that patch can get really bad. And so once you're traveling on your smooth road, tarred road, you get to this bit and you need to slow down from one pothole over one rock, over one pothole, over one rock, until you get back onto the tarred road and continue your journey. And every time I get there, I ask myself, how much is a bit of chippings and a bit of bitumen on top of it to just stabilize the surface? But what pains me, folks, is not the rough and the potholes and the rough nature of the road. But sometimes you come there, well, very few times, folks, they put literally maybe 1 or 2 trips of laterite and just even it out. And so when you get there, instead of traveling, probably a minute or 30 seconds across that patch, you can do it in 1 second. That's what hurts me, folks. The intervention is what hurts me, not even the neglect. That is what pains me. That for just 2 trips of sand, you could just sail across this road just like that. And then you ask yourself, if they were to put just chippings and bitumen on it, solve this problem from getting worse. Those of you who travel from, if you've ever used Akuse to Somenya, there's a bypass. So you get to Akuse Junction coming from Accra, you do a left. If you're coming from Akosombo, Accra, that direction, if you get to Akuse Junction, you do a right. Now there's a little bridge there, probably 10 meters, not even that, no, not 10 meters, maybe 5 meters, little bridge. And obviously the bitumen is off, and so the whole area is just washed away with erosion, and it's just terrible. And for years and years and years you travel across it, and it's just so terrible. And then one day when I got there, folks, again, they put about 2 trips of sand, or maybe maximum 3 trips of sand, and you get there and you just drive along it. That's the pain I'm talking about. That you wonder, so is that all that was needed? Is that all the intervention that was needed? I don't know. Maybe, some people get more, hurt when they are going over the bumps and the potholes and everything. I don't know, somehow I'm able to deal with it. But it's when the intervention comes, I really feel disrespected. I really feel taken for granted. That, all this time of breaking my shock absorber, delaying my time, fuel and everything, was it just a trip of sand? And so we know that the councils are broke. But how broke are you that you can't just get a piece, laterite? Because, every council should have laterite deposit within its district. And so if you're able to just rent a track for a day, you should be able to just get the laterite for free to just ease up some of our tensions. One thing I noticed this week, those of you who use the motorway may have also noticed it. Accra Tema bound on the motorway. Once you get to the toll booth at the Tema side, Accra Tema bound, now there's a big square pothole, probably 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet square pothole there. So anytime cars get there, and those who don't use the office will be caught by surprise and therefore swerve. I have seen many accidents, many. Now you can do a U-turn. I don't even know if it's legal or not, but you could do a U-turn right at the toll booth at the Tema end, Tema bound. However, there's a big ridge coming off the motorway to do the U-turn, and so you need to slow down. You should see the tailbacks, and I have seen crashes. And then you ask yourself, What would it be to get a trip of laterite, to just feel that rage so that when the cars are coming off the motorway, if it's legal, because everybody seems to do it, if it's legal, they can just quickly get off the motorway. But guess what? I got there this week, I don't know when, but the pothole had been filled. It's been there for about 4 years. And it's just, they just put a little square patch of bitumen in it. And so you ask yourself, after all the accidents, after all the slowdown and the tailbacks, is that all that was needed to solve the problem? That is what I am referring to as the painful interventions. And yet still the people in the councils and the people at the roads, they probably have a pay rise. Folks, they probably have gotten a pay rise. And you just wonder, how is it possible that somebody can neglect their duty to that impunity, still keep their job? People die, cost time, life, stress, health, and still keep their job. And the interventions, my brother, it's just a trip of sand or wheelbarrow of bitumen, and then you were sorted. And I'm sure you have your own version and your own stories as you travel in and out of the city. That's what I want us to rant about today. Can this also be something that we pack up and put in a basket and, as usual, yemfa menyame? I know we have a whole basket of ignorant issues that we offer to God on a daily basis. But please, can this also be some of the things that we give? And this same motorway that I'm talking about, with all these neglects, with all the people who are responsible gone to sleep. As soon as there's a tailback, everybody starts using the shoulders of the road, and you all have to wait until they all go and cut in, and you're guaranteed they will go free. Nothing would happen. Absolutely nothing would happen to them. I'll give you a chance for you to rant too. Folks, you see, when the Adenta footbridge crisis started looming, I was boiling and I didn't want to jump into the fray. Because I thought at the time, if I, stepped into it, my son, my producer, Abeku, thought, no, let's go heavy on this bridge issue as Abeku. If I go in there, maybe I'll start a route. Here it is, a 6-kilometer road or 5-kilometer road, whatever it is that's supposed to have 6-foot bridges. Somehow they've mounted the frames, but there are no staircase attached to this frame, so we can use the bridges. I always argue that even if you attach the staircase, we will still cross the road. But for the benefit of the doubt, let's just say there are no staircases, so we can't say anything. The media comes out and says, well, 194 people have died crossing the road within a year. That was terrible. But then the police come out and say, oh, hold on, you got your information wrong. It's not 194. It's only 24 people. I didn't know whether to cry, whether to jump, whether to... only 24 people. As if to say then it was okay. There's only 2 people a month. That's just fine. And guess what? Not 2 people a month who've been attacked by cholera or Ebola, or 2 people a month, in Syria somewhere, facing ISIS. No. Just 2 people a month just trying to cross a road, exercising their rights as pedestrians. That's their crime. They just want to get from one end of the road to the other. 24 people dead. Folks, in any country, there would have been a national day of mourning. There would have been monuments. And I'm telling you what, policies would have been changed from the top to the bottom. Anyway, Daniel Dazi and friends and the people of Atenta, raise hell that this is it. They were not going to take it anymore. Burn tires and, literally ruffle the nest. Something should be done. Guess what was done? what, 10 policemen, if that, not even that, just to stand by the roadside and aid people to cross the road. And you ask yourself, is the DCE still at post? Is the police commander still at post? Was that the intervention needed? We didn't need the right liver or the right kidney of the Queen of England? I mean, we didn't need an artery from the American president? I mean, was that the intervention? We didn't need aliens to come and solve it? Just a few bobbies on the beat to stand there and aid people cross the road. 24 people should die for this intervention. Folks, that's what I call selfish neglect and painful interventions. And all across the country and the city, it just seems to be there. You know, you watch things happening and you know that you could just intervene with just a little thing. You don't need a flyover, you don't need an airport, you don't need to build a harbor, some stones, some chippings, and just a few things just to save life. And I have to say life because as for time, we don't even value time. So if you talk about time, I'll be wasting my time talking about time, even though it's money and life. And so we spend all our lives, you know, either in traffic or, you know, just wasting our lives away because some body somewhere who's being hired and is a civil servant, you know, has refused to work or think. 24 people lost their lives before they brought policemen to stand there to help people cross the road. What's the painful intervention that you have seen? We got a text message from Nana in Spintex. It says, Nana, just by the Marina Mall, there's this bunch of kids between probably 9 and 15 who are now pitching camp by the Marina Mall. And they seem to be growing by the month. They are growing and they are growing. What are they doing pitching camp there? Where are their parents? Where are social services? Where are the police? Until when? Folks, until when? They'll form an association, and when you start to move them, they'll say, hey, Marina Mall Street Sleeping Children Association, we're not going to move until you compensate us. The people on the motorway who are squatting says they're not going to move until they get compensated. So, folks, what are these selfish neglects and painful interventions? Now, I can go on and list, but I know you want to also vent out some of the things in your area so that people who are listening who should do something should get up and do something. I mean, last week we talked about failing with the benefit of hindsight. I mean, are the people going to sit down and unless we burn tires and ruffle the nest and block traffic before you just bring people to stand there to direct traffic? I mean, Adenta did not need a new flyover. They did not need an underpass. Nothing. Their intervention until the staircase are attached to this footbridge was just to get policemen. Some of them are not even police. They're, just wearing a, high-vis jacket. God knows what they are. But since they are there, if they stop the traffic, we will stop and people will cross. Folks, let me hear your story of a selfish neglect and something that was a painful intervention for you. That's 0302 216 541. You can send a WhatsApp through to 0244 340 437. Oh, let me talk about Bone Barrier to Michelle Camp. That's the Saki Road. Oh my God. There was a gully somewhere in the road. A gully. And when it rained and you were driving through it, it was just mud. 2-3 weeks ago, literally 2 trips of sand. One in the first gully, the second in the second gully. Road is not perfect, but at least there's no gully to drive through. Jesus Christ. Araba is in Dansuman. Hello, Araba.
Yes, Nana, good evening.
What's a painful intervention that you want to share?
Nana, this one, I always feel like I should get out of the country and find somewhere else to live. Nana, the Kaneshi Road, from Kaneshi, let me say, the runabout there to the first line. You know, there's this wire mesh they've used to cross the bridges or whatever, the middle, whatever they use to divide the road.
Yep.
Nana, every evening you get there and they've broken one. Every day you get there and they've broken one. Now, almost the whole thing is gone.
Wow.
Almost the whole thing, just within about 3-4 months.
Wow.
And the people just keep on flying over this wall, and the footbridges are there. I have tried several times to get people, the drivers there, who is doing this? Nobody cares.
Thank you very much, Araba. But Kojo is in Tema. Hello, Kojo.
Yeah, Nana Majo.
Yeah, Kojo.
Nana, this evening I'm really happy you're bringing this up. You know, Community 25 Tema.
Yeah.
When you driving from Wenya through Dev Track or area, Pong Barrier.
Yeah.
And in the morning it's crazy.
Yeah.
And what annoys me most is when drivers and you see guys in suits drive on the shoulders of the road. It is total chaos, insanity on the road. And I ask myself, these are petty things we shouldn't
Could
be
take
doing.
one constable to stand there, it will solve the problem. Just one constable.
And Nana, you see, there are times they bring the police guys around, but the timing, you even see them trying to stop some of the cars, but they stop them, and within the next couple of minutes, they just allow them. And another dangerous thing they do is to drive and face the oncoming vehicles. And we as citizens are totally irresponsible and indisciplined at the highest level. But we sit and behave like the ostrich, hypocrite as we are, and talk about other things. Basic, simple rules we don't want to obey.
Thank you very much. Leonard is in Osu. Hello, Leonard.
Yeah, hello, Nana.
Talk to me.
My problem is the temporary bridge they put at the La Palm crossing the Peshi.
Okay.
It's been there for more than 5 years now, and you can see the thing is getting weak.
Wow.
And I thought it was just there for temporary reasons, but it seems now it's been left there to stay permanent, and they've halted the concrete bridge they are doing.
I see.
And the thing is getting weak, and you can see it. Anytime you drive on it, you feel it's getting weak.
Thank you very much. Now, let me tell you something. Let me rant about something, right? And those of you who will be traveling through that same Dowenya, Community 25 road, right at the Pong barrier are some policemen. And they come there like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And with their flashlight. And they cause a lot of traffic. The only thing they are excited in is DV plates. If you are fortunate to have a DV plate, maybe 2-3 cars in front of you, you know you can sail through. Otherwise, it's just slow down with their flashlight, and then when you slow down, they ask you to go, and then they slow down. It's as if they are power thirsty and they want to show that they are powerful. And they tailbacks. And you wonder, is there no senior officer that lives along this road that can say, look, this stupidity should stop? It's 5:30, 6, 7 o'clock. We are getting home, and there's a tailback. And constables are there flashing their torchlight. Just, sir, nothing. They don't stop anybody. They don't check any booth. Just flash. If you are DV plate, you know, 10 CDs. Now, so can somebody, check that? The only intervention is to get these guys to go and catch real criminals. But hey, who's on the phone?
Nana,
Yes.
this is Jay from Volta region, Akashi to be precise.
Tell me something.
Nana, some things are very, very worrisome. And then when you talk about it, it looks like authorities are not looking at it the way you are looking at it. I believe so. In Akachi, to be precise, this is a very new habit of motor riders in town that they fix small LED lights that can kill on their motorbikes. And then at night, when you're driving or you're riding, they face you, they get to you, then they flash it into your face. And then if you don't know, you enter the bush and then you are dead. Now, let me tell you, last week, 2 people died out of this. And then when you say it, it looks like the police are quiet on it. Seriously.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. What would the intervention be? Just catch 1 or 2 of them. What would the intervention be? James is in Adabraka. Hello, James.
Yeah, Nana, how are you?
I'm good.
Well, I want to ask a question before my submission. Those people, I don't know whether they call them criminals or ramps or whatever, who buy V8 and, put a hazard on, if they are facing you and there's an accident, who's going to pay? Is there a way that they'll pay you or you have to pay them?
Well, this
Sorry,
is Ghana.
you have to do the vehicle yourself, or they have to pay for it.
Well, it depends on your status in life. If you know people, then you're okay. If you don't know, you're in trouble.
Wow. Okay, now my submission, I think it's wrong, what they do, but oftentimes you see police officers there, but they don't even stop them. Now, the more issue about the pothole there and nobody taking action. I mean, come on. We live in this country where people get jobs not because they are qualified, but just because some uncle or auntie somewhere, gets them the job. And last time I was somewhere, and some ladies were saying that they want to work in the ministry simply because they will have a lot of time. They can go for lectures, and that's true. If you go to Gimpa from 2 o'clock, people who work in government offices are at lectures. So at the end of the day, they don't work. So how are they going to be able to fix that problem? It's not going to be fixed.
Thank you very much. But Pakojo is in Ashoman. Hello, Pakojo.
Yeah, hello.
There must be something in Ashoman. Tell me.
Sorry?
I said there must be some issue going on in Ashoman. Tell me. Well, let me hear you, Pakojo. Let me hear you.
Hello?
Pakojo, let me hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, so let me hear. What's your problem?
Yes.
0302216541. There are certain problems where what we need to rectify the problem, folks, it's just so negligible. It's sad that we let it fester for years. But Samson is on the phone. Hello, Samson.
Hello, Nana. And I appreciate your highness.
Let me hear you.
Leadership is by example. How true it is, wrongdoing has no particularity. Greco is hiding a perpetrator, and they are harboring wrongdoing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We do Greco another day. 0302216541. And I have Nana Ansa on the phone. Am I calling myself? Hello.
Oh,
good.
Yes, yours is the one and only.
Let me hear you.
Nana,
yeah.
On the Akuse stretch, I've used it myself a couple of times. I think it was bad construction. The compaction on the road wasn't done well. That's how come you have an uneven surface. So if they have to do it, it's not a matter of really putting more bitumen to, because if you do that, still it will sink in. Because they didn't compact the surface very well. So probably they have to do the whole thing again. But what would it take? Because human lives are involved. Because it could easily throw you off balance and you are gone. Well, and my second point, actually, this is bothering me.
Yeah.
On the N1 stretch, the footbridges on it, I out of 100 people, I can say maybe only 20 use the footbridge.
Correct.
In the morning, you see people standing in the middle, crossing in the middle, which is very dangerous. People stand on the wall built in the middle just to separate the road. They stand on it and then they jump to cross.
I don't know why we do that. And we are complaining about footbridges, and when it's there, like instead of to pick a small stroll from the footbridge and walk back, we won't do it. Because some time ago, I encountered an accident there. A car had knocked someone right beneath the footbridge because he didn't use the footbridge. He was trying to cross from the middle.
Wow.
I think something we should change our mindset. It is painful.
Thank you very much. And what would it take? What would it take? Benjilo is in Tema. Hello, Benjilo.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
I have a big worry. And I hope that this platform will be a source where they will listen and carry space for us.
Let's hear it.
The Tema motorway is empty with lights. All the street lights, almost within Greater Accra, it's not functioning. It's increasing armed robbery everywhere. I have witnessed about 3 of them myself.
Wow.
Everybody stays unconcerned. Those on top positions are doing nothing. If you speak to it, the only thing they can tell you is just blah, 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 blah. As if we are kids. You pay the taxpayers' money to get a job done, and you're doing nothing. You make empty promises to the people of this country. I know our president is a good listening president. The first gentleman of this land made good promises to the people of this country. I'm a strong NDC member. I voted based on what promises he brought out. I voted my own party out of power because of their selfish interests. I was thinking he could get a job done, but I regretted voting for the MPP. Seriously, the president has really made me regret casting my vote.
Well, regrets. But yes, the situation on the motorway, maybe we need to do a motorway show. I'm telling you, the motorway needs its own show. I'm telling you, the motorway, it has a life on its own. That motorway is a whole different rules and regulation on that motorway. But Daniel is in Adenta. Hello, Daniel.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, Daniel.
There are some few questions I wanted to know. The Cocoa Road. There's one stretch from, the road from, let's get to the Ayinosa toll booth to Damfa. My question is, the rehabilitation of those roads, whose responsibility?
I have no clue.
Then secondly, my question is, because what happens is, are we waiting for those roads to get bad and then it becomes a budget before they work on it? Now that there are little portals, and now they are even, they are not even little portals, they are huge portals. I mean, can't they instruct the Ghana Highway Authority to just maintain those roads?
That's your concern right there. But in order is Gideon. Let's hear what Gideon has to say. Hello, Gideon.
Yeah, Nana.
Yes, boss.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Nana, I think that on what the program you are having is a very important program. And in this country, whatever we wanted to do or whatever the president of the country wanted to do, I'm sure they have a way of pushing it through and getting it done. I came to Achimota, I think, a week and some few days ago. I was here, and then we were told that the president is coming to inspect a water project over here. And Nana, if you can believe me, the road that leads to where the water project is,
it's been done.
It's very bad. And one is left with 4 days for the president to come. They brought excavators and tipper trucks, and they are working on the road.
I believe you.
Morning to evening.
I believe you.
And could you imagine that on the day the president will come, they park the tippers and the excavators by the side of the road. And so when the president is coming, it's as if they are doing any serious work. Come and see, after 5 days that the president left, they come and see. They've packed every excavator and the tipper trucks all away from the site.
My brother, I believe you.
And there's nothing going on the site. I really believe that whatever the president wanted to do, they can do it. Because they know that it is because they are coming, the people brought these things here. And they have to send people to come back and come and check if really what they saw here when they came was really what goes on after they left.
That's a very important one. And yes, that's a very important one. But Ajimai is in Tema. Hello, Ajimai.
Good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
And I hope you are fine.
I'm good, Ajimai.
And if you can present it for some few seconds, your producer is making some arguments which I have argued with somebody for a long time. If you can put it on your program next time.
Mm-hmm. Let me hear you.
I mean, I heard your producer making some arguments at the background, and it is something that I've argued with a friend for a very long time, and I wish you can put it on your program from time to time.
Okay, let me hear you.
Yeah, it concerns our culture, the names of our towns, and because of colonization, we are being forced to pronounce it in the European way, which is making us lose the actual facts and the meanings of the names of our towns and other things.
Okay.
Like my hometown, Akim, they say we should write it Akim. So for that matter, you don't hear the Akim and it's a real meaning.
Yeah.
And other things, if you can help, bring it on board sometimes.
I think we do that in Cocoa spell that in Cow and all that. We think one day we have to bring it that if they got it wrong and they are gone, why don't we correct it? But Kwame is on the phone. Hello, Kwame.
Hi.
Yes.
Nana, good evening.
Good evening, Kwame.
Nana, something just happened this evening concerning the previous caller who spoke. He was asking a question that when all these motorcades and whatever face the upcoming vehicles and there is an issue, who is responsible? And he said it was based on who you are in authority and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving on the Kanda Highway just about 30-40 minutes ago, okay?
Yeah.
And there was just a hold-up. It wasn't a traffic, a hold-up.
Mm-hmm.
This motorcade went to the other side, faced the upcoming vehicle with the V8. I don't know which minister was in that vehicle.
Wow.
Only for them to knock down a motor rider.
Oh, dear.
When they knocked down the motor rider, the motorcade came back to see who the motor rider was, and then they took off. They did not mind the guy. Till the guy, I was trying to call your station to alert them that this is what is happening on the Kanda Highway, and they left.
Wow.
And they left. And this is what we are seeing in this country. You go to East Legon, is everywhere. You go there, the V8, they are just passing. And how can we be living life? How can we be in a country that this sort of things will be going on? And the guy, somebody's father, somebody's brother is just lying there.
Oh, terrible. I told you, if you have no status, you are in trouble. Kojo is in Kwabenya, so Kwabenya, your road is a different terrain. You need a whole show for your road. Hello, Kojo.
Yes, hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm so glad you raised this topic today. And I was waiting for somebody from my area, Kwabenya, to at least call in. No one was calling, so I had to call to rescue the area. I do not know if it is the district capital of potholes. The potholes are so terrible in Kwabenya, and I wonder what the authorities are doing about it. My wife is pregnant, and every single time we pass on this road, either heading home or going to work, it's a nightmare.
Yes.
There are stretches upon stretches of potholes, gullies, manholes, I cannot even describe. And at least I hope the authorities are listening and do something about this situation, because it's too bad. This year alone, I changed links for a Honda CRV I bought last year, just because of how terrible these roads are.
Wow. As for Kwabenya, I think, I need to do a whole show for you guys, man, because it's just unbelievable. I understand that we don't have a bottomless pit and we are short of money and all this, but some of the interventions, really are we that cash-strapped that there's no intervention at all that can mitigate some of the problems? If you've driven past this Kwabenya stretch, Jesus Christ, even if you're in a helicopter, it's difficult to fly over it. I'm telling you, that's how terrible the road is. But the local councils must get up and just start thinking. I don't even want them to act, but I just want them to think. The local councils should just think. And please, if the police is hearing me, I'm telling you, the police barrier at the Bong barrier, just getting there, just unnecessary delay of police people there too early in the evening, people just going home. I don't know. And like I'm telling you, they only get excited when they see DV plates, then, literally get excited all over it, and then they stop it. Back up of traffic. But Julian is on the line. Hello, Julian.
Hello, good evening, Anna.
Good evening, Julian.
Isn't it laughable that we cannot even fix potholes on our motorway? Because in an airport in Germany, I think Frankfurt Airport, they are able to strip a runway of about 6,000 feet, which is around 1,800 meters, within a night, and then re-asphalt it, paint it, and then open it for air traffic by 10 o'clock in the morning. They are able to do that. And we are here, we can't even fix potholes on our motorway. It's a shame.
It is, and I can feel your passion. It's a shame. Prince is in Kaswa. Hello, Prince. Prince.
Nana.
Yes, my brother. Talk to me.
Please, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
You are saying please stand there and aid us to cross the road. Please, is it the best way to go?
No, I said that was the intervention. At least it stopped people from dying.
Oh, Nana. The thing is supposed to be fixed. That's all. You understand? We know how we drive in this country. Anything could happen. You understand? Less than 2 months ago, I went to Australia. I was coming. There's a car hitting us that we should pave way for him to go, which we did. Less than, should I say, 30 minutes or something like that, we go to Afia Junction. There's a barrier there. I mean, this car just hit the policeman and he was dead. Wow. If you're going to take, what am I going to say? I mean, Nana, it's not good. So, the thing is, I mean, you have to fix this thing. That's all. You understand? Thank you very much, Nana.
Thank you very much, too. But in the meantime, in between time, this Saturday, 1st December 2018, all roads lead to the Republic of Edumasa. I want to say thank you in advance to the Awo Dansoa Reading Project and the Ahaban Green Leaf, who are coming there to teach the kids how to make batik, and beads making, and other things that they can do with their hands. Me, I'm a great believer of kids doing things with their hands rather than just reading and writing. And so we're heading to Edumasa this Saturday and get in touch with the Awo Dansoa Reading Club and, give any support at all that you can give so they can refresh the kids and refresh all the NGO guys that are coming so they can have fun, so they can, be as if they are closer to the capital as you are. The further you are from the capital, the difficult it is. So I'll put the number out shortly, so stay tuned. But in Sakumono is John. Hello, John.
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
Nana, how are you?
I'm good, John.
Nana, please, exercise patience with me. I'm a professional driver.
Thank you.
I've been in the road for 40 years. I understand safety on the road. Nana, please, I want the job of CEO of National Road Safety Commission. They are asleep. All what we are talking about is road safety. Nana, everybody, every Ghanaian is in hurry. The drivers are in hurry. The policemen are in hurry. The ministers are in hurry. This all happen. And the road safety are asleep. Christmas is coming. You didn't hear from them. For 2 weeks to Christmas, you hear them. What are they doing? What are road safety doing? Commission, what? Do you understand the road safety? Please, if you can help me to get that job, I will stop the carnage on the road.
How I wish I had the power to give to you right now to stop the road. But Prince is in Adenta. Hello, Prince.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. I just want to do a follow-up on the lady who called in from Kaneshi talking about those metals.
Yeah.
It's not just about missing metals. I don't know if the authorities are really in position where they get to see those hawkers. They stand on those pavements there and urinate at any time of the day. Yeah. Even with the one at just Fiesta Royal, the traffic light there, some of the hawkers, you see them daytime. I passed there this afternoon around 2 p.m. and I saw a guy selling PK. He dropped the PK and he stood right there and was urinating in the middle of the road. Come to the bridge at East Legon. Beautifully a landscape with the grass there. They have all walked over it There's no beauty. And there's just a police station right there.
Oh, thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. Selfish neglect and painful interventions. I am talking about the things we see around us all the time, which cost us time, it costs us health, strength, and sometimes life. Yet the things required to take these things away are so negligible that it's painful. Somebody dies, your child dies, your mother, your father dies, and what could have prevented that death is just nothing. Not a flyover, not an underpass, not an airport, not a fishing harbor, just somebody wearing a high-vis jacket to direct traffic. You get on the road and there's a pothole, and every day like somebody's changing their lanes, and you realize, look, all that was required was just one grader to grade the road and a compactor to compact it. But now you're driving, heading towards Dowenya, Community 25 at the Pong barrier. There must be tailbacks and tailbacks. All the trotros are now on the hard shoulder, cutting across stress just to get home. And why? A couple of policemen there with their flashlight just stopping and delaying everybody. And that's what I'm calling the selfish neglects and the painful intervention. The interventions are sometimes even more painful than the neglect. We are penning here to solve the problem. The amount of accidents I saw at that Tema toll booth, Tema Bound, where cars were just hitting into each other, ramming into each other, trying to avoid that pothole or trying to step down on the motorway to do a U-turn. What would it take to solve it? But this Saturday, it's all road leads to Odumasa. Those of you who want to come and see the Little Republic, very much welcome. So it's 054-361-8182. 054-361-8182. Call for more information. Call to help us refresh the kids and give them a life skill as they grow up in the world. My name is Nana Ansakwa IV. This was my opinion today. Until next Monday that I come to you with another opinion. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for being a part of the show. The news bulletin is up next. Sammy Forcing will be here to overdrive you. Sammy, after his marriage, is, putting on a few pounds. So, Mrs. Forcing, Ayuko, as we say, thank you so much to Abeku. And stay tuned, don't even touch the dial.